How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing: always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about MULN and as well as for Polestar. We saw a lot of volatility inside of the market, so I want to make sure you guys are prepared going into tomorrow. We're going to be taking a look at some price levels and, of course, some more institutional ownership and as well as short interest. So let's get into it right now. We'll start off with MULN. So we ended up closing at 89 cents, being down 1.56%. On the low, it tested 82 cents, and then on the high, testing 91 cents. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you could see we traded at 97.984 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 68.145 million shares. So we had above average volume on the day, and we saw a slight pullback in the stock. So when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, the first thing that I want to bring to your attention, I was looking for us to have some price action and strength above the 21 EMA. We did not end up getting that, but we still have time to do that as far as for this week. So we saw the high at 91 cents, and most preferably from the previous day, you could see we got up to around the 93 cents area. So we want to get a break above this level and wanting to see MULN being able to make a move to 96 cents. So considering the price action that we had today at 82 cents, if we decide to break through this level going into tomorrow, that is very bearish, and that's where we could see MULN wanting to test 80 cents right on the dot, and then wanting to see if it's going to go back and test the mid 70-cent range between 76 and as well as 77. This is a well-known area that MULN bounces off of, so make sure that you're adding that to your notes as well. But from what I'm seeing, I want to see MULN being able to hold above the 9 EMA, which is at 86 cents. It closed at 89 cents. So keeping that price action above this level still keeps MULN in the game to break above that 21 EMA and gain some more momentum. And of course, I know many of you are looking forward to seeing MULN going to $1, but as far as for this week, we're going to have a lot of buying pressure coming into the play to actually get there. So I feel the accomplishment would be right at that 96 level like I stated previously. But if we have these moving averages coming closer and we have that 9 EMA crossing over the 21, hey, that's where we'll get that momentum. So let's see what happens going into tomorrow. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information from MULN. So scrolling down on the page, green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings for the 16th, you see we have Jane Street Group LLC that had puts and as well as calls in which they ended up closing. Now, when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 54.39%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 43.38 million shares. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 2.5 million, updated 23 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 24.35%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 12th, it was at 53.86, and then for the close of the 15th, being at 54.39. So we see a little bit of an increase, and then when we take a look at the short interest percentage of the float being at 15.79%, MULN does continue to have short squeeze potential, and is another reason why you want to keep a very close eye on this play. We did have a recent run up. It looks like things have been slowing down, and it seems like we're in a consolidation phase, but we want to see a move higher from MULN. If we don't get that move higher, then we're going to continue to see some weakness, and we could pull back to the levels like I was talking about previously when looking at the charts. Let's move on to Polestar. Let's take a look at Polestar. So it closed at $9.75, being down 1.52%. On the low, it tested $9.68, and then on the high, testing $10.08. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 1.235 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 1.465 million shares. So we had below average volume on the day, and we also seen a pullback in the stock. When we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, let's take a quick look at our moving averages here. So we have strength above the 21 EMA, the 9 EMA, and we close right on the 50 EMA. And we could also see as far as for the high of the day, it was at $10.08. Of course, we want to see a break above this level. We want to see price action above $10.12. We've seen this being previous resistance in the past, and it was very key for Polestar to break above it. So that means going into tomorrow, we want to have another retest going back in the $10 range and and seeing if we can break through. If we're able to break through, then the next level to watch is at $10.51. If we continue to deal with a rejection, then we want to see support actually coming in right at this 9 EMA at $9.63. Keep in mind we tested a low at $9.68, so that is not far off whatsoever, but it would break the higher low pattern. If you take a look at where we were on the previous day, not only did we form a higher low for today, we also formed a higher high. So taking that into consideration, you want that 9 EMA to hold. If it doesn't hold at the 9 EMA, then we look at the 21, which is at $9.53. And we also have shown to have support around this area back on August 11th, which was last week. If we decide to sell off even further than that, then of course you want to see strength coming in at $9.36 for Polestar. But in my personal opinion, I feel like we should be able to at least stay above that 21 EMA and then look forward to seeing some more retests to break above $10. If we constantly get rejected, I could see some more downward pressure in the stock, and I just want to make sure you guys are keeping note of that. And then when we take a look at our stochastics from down below, you can see that we've gained a good amount of momentum, and it looks like that it's trending downwards, but it can easily curl back up if we have bulls stepping in and wanting to jump into the play. So let's see what happens. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Polestar. So scrolling down on the page, green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings for the 16th, we have Jane Street Group LLC that purchased 31,284 shares, and that is about it. But it's good to see a recent filing. Now, when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 55.43%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is at 301,799 shares. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 25,000, updated 26 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 145.82. Keep in mind, yesterday it was around the 165 area, so it has gone down a bit. Now, when we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 12th, it was at 55.75, and then for the close of the 15th, it was at 55.43. So it went down a little bit, and what we could see clearly, Polestar does continue to have short squeeze potential, and this also does sum up the video for today. I know they did end up having a recent catalyst saying that they're going to be coming out with their Roadster, but we also have to take into consideration though, as far as for the volatility we have inside of these markets, it's going to have an impact on stocks. So I know many people are looking forward to seeing some more upside out of Polestar, but it doesn't mean that the run is over as of yet. We want to see it get to those key levels that I talked about, especially getting back to the $10 range, but if it's unable to do that, at least you know what it looks like to the downside. But if we do get that break above $10, you guys know the level you want to be watching is above $10.51. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you're new to this channel, make sure that you subscribe, and if you found value in this video, make sure to hit the like button. I'll be talking to you guys real soon.